I'm the 2024 Teen National Classic Physique champion.
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Welcome back to another exciting episode of RX Muscle Spotlight. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's special guest is our 2024 NPC Teen Classic overall champion from Pittsburgh just a few weeks ago. His name is Michael Meinstad, and he's here today. Welcome to the show.
How's it going, Dave?
What's
Thank
up?
you for having me on.
Yeah, you look great. Congratulations on the big win.
I appreciate it. It means a lot.
Yeah. And you just turned 19 too, so you're kind of like a very early 19. You're not even a late 19.
I know. It's pretty wild how everything's kind of turned out.
Yeah. I'll pull your picture up there. I mean, you have a lot of muscle. When did you start working out?
So yeah, I started working out when I was young because I grew up playing sports. I played football starting out when I was in 4th grade. And then when I was about 12 is when I started going to the gym with my grandparents. They were military, so I would go on base with them and work out. My grandpa would kind of teach me some things here and there. And ever since then, I kind of just been going to the gym, and it's kind of just been a part of my life. And then I really got into competing and met my coach when I turned 16. And that's kind of when everything took off. We did my first show, grew for the next 2 years. When I was 18, last year, I did 3 shows. I did a local show in Omaha. That's where I'm from, Omaha, Nebraska. And after that, we did the Twin Cities Open. I did the Classic Physique there, and I also did bodybuilding. And then after that, we did Teen Nationals last year. And then now this year, we did the 2024 Teen Nationals, and took home the overall.
And you were second last year, so you were pretty close.
Yeah, I was right there. The kid who beat me, he was a lot bigger than I was. He was a year older, had a little bit more experience. So I just took another year off to grow, and then we came home with the win. I was very excited about that.
What did you weigh here at the show?
So check-ins were in the afternoon, so I was 191. So I'm assuming in the morning I was probably anywhere between 187, 188, maybe a little higher, 190. But that I weighed in at 191.
And how tall are you?
5'9.5".
Yeah, when I was looking at the pictures and we were going over the show with Chris Aceto on Heavy Muscle Radio, I'm sure you heard that.
Yeah,
Chris,
I watch you guys all the time.
Yeah, Chris's son was there. He came in second behind you in the classic, and then he was second in the bodybuilding. I said, I don't understand why Mike didn't do the bodybuilding also, because you probably would have won both. Not taking anything away from the kid who won, but I think you're a little better than he was. I think you probably would have won both.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was kind of just like the finances part,
I was gonna say it's like $300 to enter, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I would have to pay for another night of a hotel.
Right. No, I understand. It's very expensive now.
Yeah, and me personally, I pay for everything throughout my preps. I pay for travel. I pay for food. My coach and the gym, and it's a lot.
Yeah, no, it adds up. When I was competing, when I first started competing in the NPC, which was I think 1990, 91, somewhere around there, it was 35. It was like $25 for an NPC card, and I think it was $30 to enter the show.
Yeah, I think this year I paid
at the national show. I think it was $50 at a national show. So
yeah, this year I think my NPC card was $200. Last year it was $150.
Wow! Oh, they jumped that much, really? Holy mackerel!
And the Teen Nationals last year was actually $250, and they bumped it up to $300 this year.
Oh my God! Holy man! Pretty soon it's gonna be like college tuition having these shows.
Exactly. It's gonna cost
Unbelievable.
arm and a leg to join a show.
You're gonna have to take. I think I'm gonna start like a finance company that like, except bodybuilders are probably terrible risks to finance, but
exactly.
it'll be like going for like,
money.
if you have to bail yourself out of jail, like you pay. You got to put your house up, to get the collateral for the.
I'm gonna need to take out a whole loan just to go compete.
People taking credit card advances on their credit cards.
Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I've had to pay on my credit card.
No, I can imagine. Don't get in credit card debt. That's all I can tell you.
No, I make sure to pay it at the end of the month, but every time I do, it hurts my soul a bit,
I know, believe me. You should see the student loan. You should see the student loan payments I made back in the day.
Oh yeah, luckily I'm not in college. I actually was an electrician for the last year. That's kind of how I was.
I was brought up in a generation where you had to go to college. Like that, they made everyone go to college. Nowadays, I don't even care if my kids don't want to go to college. I'd rather them go to electrician school or plumber school, because you know what? You guys will never be replaced by AI.
No, never.
Humans have to wire the house up and they have to fix the plumbing. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Electricians, man. Are you like a union electrician?
So I started off non-union, and then I did go transfer to union. But I stopped doing the electrician gig because it just became really, really hard on my body going through prep. So I moved on to
climbing through hot attics is not really fun.
Yeah. It was brutal because when I switched to union, I was going and working on apartment buildings. And they had me wiring all the units, and there's no AC, there's no insulation to keep it cool, and I was on the top floor, so all the heat was rising up there, and I was it was like all day cardio, and at the end of the day, I had to go train, and I was just beat up. So I was like, man, if I want to continue bodybuilding, there's no way I can keep doing this. So I moved on to a sales position for the time being, and I'm actually gonna enlist in the Air Force.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I'm enlisted in the Air Force. My goal is to land a medical job. That way I can become a nurse, and then just continue bodybuilding throughout there.
What made you decide the Air Force, though? Where'd that come from?
To be honest, it's just because it's the easiest branch. You don't have to go into the field. You're at a base all the time, so it allows for me to be able to continue bodybuilding how I need to do it. I just have to take like a 7 weeks off for basic, and then after basic training's over, I get full access to free gyms. My food's paid for, housing's paid for, so it's
not a bad idea. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
And health care too as well. So everything's all there for me.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you have to. It's funny because guys your age really don't think about these things. You're kind of like already planning your future, which is kind of cool that you're. I
did have to grow up fast actually, because my mom, she had me when she was 16. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was go go go. I had to learn how to work. I had to learn how to cook for myself. I was always.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So she was in high school when she had you.
Yep. So I think that's why I really enjoy bodybuilding so much. It's because it's such an independent sport, and everything's relied on yourself. And that's how I kind of grew up. I grew up, cooking for myself, taking care of myself. Obviously, my parents were there, but like a lot of things I did on my own. And it just made me grow up fast and have more of a mature mindset. And I think that's what kind of really intrigued me into bodybuilding and the aspect of, it's such an individualized sport.
Is your mom like she must be like a friend to you? It's like you guys are almost the same age. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we basically grew up together. So
yeah. When you go out to eat with her, they probably think that you guys are dating or something like that. They don't even think that it's your mother. How old was your dad?
18. He was 18.
Oh my God!
I know it was. I shouldn't even be here right now, but look where we're at.
You did. They did good, given the fact that they were so young. What did your father do for a living? What does he do for a living?
He worked in a factory. Currently, he's doing forklift driving. My parents are actually split, so I live with my mom currently, and I just go see my dad once in a while. We all have good relations with each other, so there's nothing between us. But yeah, just interesting life, compared to other people growing
Right.
up.
Yeah.
But I think that's really what made me who I am. And
yeah. You must have been eating them. You must have been eating them out of house and home. Holy mackerel! When you were younger.
Yep, it was a lot of food.
Crazy.
Uh-huh.
We all have different upbringings, So what would you say was the most challenging part of growing up, like with a young bunch of parents, compared to the other kids?
I'd say my mom, she did good, the best she could. She came out of high school. She had to get to work, and so she would be off at work. I wouldn't see her too often. I would mainly be with my grandparents most of the time on my dad's side. They were the ones who watched me.
Right.
And we had to bounce around through apartments a lot of the time. We had roommates coming in and out because just to be able to afford rent and food and everything. So I'd say that was probably the most challenging thing, just like going through that initial phase of the struggle, not having a lot of money. But just in the last couple of years, my mom actually met my stepdad. They got married, and he's a union carpenter foreman. So he makes pretty good money now. So we've been. I'm very grateful for everything that he has done and that she's done in the last couple of years. They've really, really done a lot better. They own multiple homes. They rent out properties. So they've done a lot better for themselves and to allow me and my siblings to have better lives than what we previously had. So I'm very grateful to have both of them in my life, and it's been a lot better these last couple of years.
Sure. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Oh man, so on my mom's side, I have one half brother, and then I have a stepsister, and then on my dad's side, I have 3 half sisters.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so quite a bit of siblings, and they're all split up. But I live with my mom's side, so my half brother and my stepsister.
Well, so it's good to have. Are you the oldest? I assume then,
yeah,
right?
I'm the oldest out of all.
You're the oldest brother. Holy mackerel!
Yep. Yeah.
So what? I mean, I have to imagine that you winning the show is a big deal. I mean, to your family, because I mean, probably no one expected anything, and you turned out pretty damn good,
Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't expect I didn't expect to be on here. It's really cool because I love watching your podcast with Armin, and Mr. G, and it was funny. Oh, and Lee Priest, of course, too. But it's so funny when you guys went to Alabama and you guys were ordering, and he went through like the whole list through the waiter. That had me cracking up. I love watching you guys. It's a good time.
I'm glad we can entertain you. I'm glad some people find it funny. But the thing is that there's not a lot of young guys going into our sport. It seems like people are they're into the whole lifestyle, but not a lot of people are dipping their feet into competing. I mean, the teen class was probably the smallest it's ever been.
Yeah,
I would say.
And last year my class was 5 people. So, and there was multiple classes that went up. Last year I was in class A. We had a full lineup, and I think there was also a class B and C for classic.
Right.
So it was a lot bigger of a show last year, and I was really surprised when I showed up this year, and there was only 3 classic guys, and then you had the collegiates, but the teens there was only 3 of us. I was really surprised when I showed up.
I think that people would rather be a social media star nowadays than actually be a bodybuilding champion, because it takes a lot more work to be a bodybuilding champion.
Yes, I honestly think I grew up in the wrong era, because I am having to really force myself to post content and on social media, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to make money.
No doubt. Yeah, you have to.
I would much rather be, with Chris Cormier and Flex Wheeler and just training, getting, Joe Weider sponsors, rather than having to post on social media all the time. So, but I've been trying to do the real things. Like if you go to my reels, I've been posting quite a bit on Instagram, and just trying to keep up with it, because I know that's what's gonna make everything kind of blow up. But I honestly just love the training aspect and being able to go through the whole process of being just a bodybuilder. I hate having to post on social media just because it adds an extra thing onto what I have to do. But
Yeah.
if it's what's gonna make me, big in the sport, then I'm gonna do what I have to do.
Well, it's good because it helps, it markets you. And I think, you
Yeah.
have a demographic that you reach that's different than, like, say, my demographic, because you're reaching young guys who might, who see you at 19 and say, holy mackerel, I'm 16. Maybe I can look like him at 19. Let me find out what he's doing. And they're willing to pay for it. They're willing to, they're going to follow you. They're going to,
yeah. And I actually
hang on every word you say to them.
Yeah. And I actually, I'm starting to take on some clients too. I just signed my first client the other day, and I got him all set up. So, and I'm excited to get him started. It's kind of just a new adventure that I'm trying out, and I'm putting my all into that right now as well. And I'm excited to see where it goes.
The best advice I could ever give you is always have multiple streams of income. I've given this advice to a lot of people. In other words, you make a little money from coaching, you make a little money from your regular job, you make a little money from, cleaning the neighbor's car or raking his leaves. It doesn't matter. You maybe sell someone else's products that you believe. If you keep multiple streams of income, and if one dries up, you don't go bankrupt. You know what I mean? You still have money coming in. So
yeah,
that's important, I think, especially for young people to understand. Try to diversify your income sources.
Yeah, especially with how expensive bodybuilding is, it's definitely beneficial to have multiple streams of income to be able to afford.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. So what's you win teen nationals in classic. What's next? Do you want to do you gonna do some open shows? What are you gonna do?
So the plan, actually, I wasn't supposed to be done competing actually. It was 2 or 3 weeks out before teen nationals. I just got started with my back day, and I was doing the plate loaded lat pull down with the actual lat pull down bar. I don't remember the brand, but and I was just warming up, and I'm extended in the lengthening position, and I hear the machine crank, and at the same time my shoulder overextended, and the whole back day was just ruined for the day. And a couple days later, my whole left arm, tricep, rear delt was inflamed. It started bruising, and I was so stressed out. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to go compete in 3 weeks. Like, I'm texting my coach, I'm sending him pictures. I'm like, bro, what are we gonna do? And he was like, it's all right. Just take it easy on training. Keep going through your plan. Keep doing your cardio. Inflammation should go down, So I just kept going through the process, trying to ease my mind, trying not let my cortisol get through the roof. And luckily, by show day, my striations came back, inflammation was down, bruising was not noticeable, tan luckily covered most of it. So that was very stressful, and that just ended my season for the year. I was supposed to actually go do the NPC, the regional show in Oklahoma, and then I was gonna hopefully try and qualify for North Americans and give a shot at nationals to see how I placed. But right now the plan is we're gonna just take the next 2 years off, because I realized that during this too as well, the national stage, the guy, I have good size, but I don't have that maturity yet. I don't have that grainy hard muscle that most of these guys at the national level have. So it's not so much more putting on size. It's more of just refining my look, getting that muscle maturity to be able to stand next to the national competitors.
What do you weigh? What's your weight cap, and what was your weight on stage?
So my weight cap is 202 for my height, and I was 191.
Okay, so you got 10 pounds to grow into it almost. Yeah.
Yep. And I definitely probably could have been a little sharper, in my opinion. But I think that also just comes with more of the maturity aspect too as well. And also my legs are where most of my water is held. We really did a hard water cut, and really just tried to pull all the water from my legs, because that's where everything was stored. And by show day, obviously, I had pretty good striations and cross feathering, but the back of my legs is just where everything kind of is blurred for the most part. My upper body gets shredded fast, but it's just my legs that are really the ones that are hard to manage. I was doing 40 minutes of stairs every day fasted, and calories got to as low as 1900. And it was just mainly just the water that we had to just keep pulling for the past 2 days.
Sometimes I believe that, when you start doing a lot of like leg stuff, like, like Stairmaster or Stepper, sometimes you break down so much muscle that you create a lot of inflammation in the legs.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think it's actually a bad thing to do the last couple of weeks before a show. I think it breaks down too much muscle. And a lot of people think, hey, I'm not that hard, but it's really just a lot of inflammation in there too.
Yeah, exactly. And so my coach actually had me stop doing cardio a week out because we needed to drop the inflammation too as well. And everything kind of started to refine and look better.
Yeah. And then, because sometimes you can get into that trap where you think you're not hard enough and you almost over diet and over cardio, and then you lose muscle. So I don't really like to do Stepper, for men at least, because I think it's too much. Yeah, it just breaks too much muscle. I think it's because we're so big, you know what I mean? Muscle wise in the legs, especially.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. No, what's your preference of cardio for men?
I like just like walking on a treadmill, pedaling, a stationary or recumbent bike. Even the elliptical is kind of like non-impact. I think because you try to burn fat, fat burns throughout the entire body equally.
Yeah,
so
you can't
you're not going to target fat loss in your legs by doing the Stepper.
Yeah.
You're just kind of breaking down. You burn more calories with the Stepper, but you're also breaking down a lot of muscle in your legs, constantly.
True.
So it's
True.
now you're young, you can recover, but a lot of guys can't. I find that guys can lose muscle in their legs doing that, and I think it's not really that productive. Once in a while you can throw it in there, and I just don't think it's on a daily basis. It's probably the best thing to do. At least in my 30 years of experience, I've seen that. Yeah,
that's good. That's good information now.
Yeah, but I think you did great. I think you have a great future, and congratulations on the big win in the classic division. And like I said, you probably could have won bodybuilding too, but that's all right. Next year, obviously, you're going to be 20, so you won't be able to do that. Maybe we'll see you. You said you're going to take 2 years off.
You'll definitely see me at North Americans the next 2 years. That's my
plan. All right.
Well, so I'll be back in Pittsburgh.
Best of luck, and keep us updated.
Okay, I will for sure. I appreciate you, Dave.
Absolutely. Guys, that's going to take us to the end of another episode of RX Muscle Spotlight. I'm Dave Palumbo with Michael Meinstad. We'll see you next time.